Bro, I don't think I've ever read the bottle. I'm like, all right, it's that one. That's what my fiance likes. And she's like, yo, just get that one.
So you can't go wrong. You know what I'm saying? That joint is delicious.
Oh my goodness!
It's like
I'm
a
about
little.
to finish this shit.
It's
You
like a
leaving the
little
bottle in here?
It's over there. Shit, you can drink it like juice, bro.
You left the class before and came late. We was just talking about that not too long ago.
We're not going to do that this episode. But scholars, while I'm drinking on
We
this,
are back.
while I'm drinking on this nice, what's the name of it?
La Bruce, I don't know what it's called, man.
All I know is y'all all have seen it before. The bottle says RIUNITE. So I'm just gonna go reunite. It's something like that. Y'all seen it before.
It's the ball that my fiance loves, and that's the one that I get. So I just brought it here too, because I know she likes it. Y'all probably like it too. So
not gonna steer you wrong, bro.
not gonna steer me wrong.
She got good taste.
Yeah. I mean, she got me, so you know what I mean.
You better talk your shit.
It's like,
What they be saying? Talk your shit, King. Yeah.
2 snaps. Give him some snaps.
Scholars, what's good? Welcome back to another episode 6. Episode 6.
Yeah. We're gonna go with 6.
But before we get into anything,
Yeah.
shout out to Mr.
Yeah, we gonna give a huge shout out to Mr. Erdman. That's our homie. That's our boy right there. Yo, if y'all don't know what we talking about, you got to check out the previous episode. We basically gave him a shout out inadvertently. Sean had to do some apologizing in case you don't know.
Listen. We joke a lot on this show, and y'all can tell when I'm dead ass serious, and y'all can always tell when I'm joking.
Come on, they know.
Let's just put it out there. So we learned a new word. Well, Dante knew this word for like 18 years now.
Yes.
But I learned the word last episode, recidivism.
Yes, recidivism.
And apparently this is a word that Mr. Erdman used to always sing to his students.
Yes.
As we posted the clip, and I'll cut the episode, post the clip right here. But as we posted the clip, a lot of his former students started to respond like, yo, that was my guy. We loved him. He was such a good teacher. And then Mr. Erdman himself not only responded and commented on the clip, he reposted it, and then he's now getting traffic.
Yeah.
And I did apologize to him because I did say, "Oh, Dante, your teacher must have been racist." Because if you guys don't know what recidivism means, it basically means like when a crook or a criminal
is a repeat offender. Like they do it more than once. That's it. That's it.
So I was like, he must have didn't fuck with y'all.
And Sean thought that it was only the black kids getting in trouble. So he was like, oh, he's got to be. So he had to double it back. But we are all about accountability. Yeah. So at the end of the day, Sean's not saying he didn't say it. He apologized and, man to man type. But at the end of the day, Mr. Erdman, he's such a cool dude. Yeah. He was more so focused on the fact that my knucklehead ass still don't remember the definition. He was like, I guess he gave us the definition. He put it in big word, put it in big letters, told us what the definition is, and then goes ... But I guess it didn't stick. And I'm like, yep, that's me, the knucklehead.
Like I said, I wanted to apologize because that's a huge claim to make, Yeah. And listen, I'm looking dead. Let me take my glasses off when I say this. You see my eyes. I was joking. But I understand when you say something like that, it doesn't always come off as a joke. That man is clearly not racist. And I liked what he said because he said it doesn't matter if you're white, black, orange. He treated all his students the same. Clearly, his students liked and his teaching stuck with him. Granted, Dante not remembering the definition.
I remember this the word. I know how to spell it, and I remember the dance. I just needed the definition.
And there you go, because that stuck. And I promise you, we posted that video within 2 minutes. A lot of his former students was like, "Oh,
it's like, oh yeah, I remember the song. I remember the dance." So, it's like because it just really like to its core. We just want to give Mr. Erdman his flowers because, like, those kind of teachers that stick with you, it's like he stuck with us for a good reason. I never look back and go, oh, Mr. Erdman. It was like, nah, yo, no matter who was in the class, he was a dope-ass teacher. And, like, more teachers like that. I just want to see more stuff like that. So, shout out to Mr. Erdman. We want to give him his flowers.
Shout out to all the good teachers who actually go to work, do their job. You guys have the right to complain. They don't pay teachers enough.
Pay teachers all the money they should get more money than doctors. They should get way more money than doctors.
All that they deserve. But that is to say, teachers out there, if you do, not even if you're not doing your stuff, students are paying attention. You never know how much of an impact you're really leaving on their lives. So those of y'all out there that are doing the good fight, doing the good work, shout out to y'all because we do appreciate y'all. Even though we don't always show it, we might be knuckleheads sometimes, but we appreciate y'all and everything that y'all are doing.
Clap it up for all the great teachers in the world, man.
That's it.
And before we get into the rest of the episode, one more thing. Y'all gonna leave us big men alone.
That's a wild
That's a wild transition.
You're gonna leave us big men alone. I saw. Shout out to Kevin on stage because he posted. Someone tweeted 2 days ago. I don't know if you saw my story or not.
What?
So it's like no matter what, a big nigga. It said a big nigga could be saving the baby in the middle of traffic. No matter what, he's gonna get up and pull his shirt down. And then I thought about it, and then I looked at all the fucking videos and pictures that I've taken in the last 4 years. And sure enough, every time I stand up, I pull my shirt down. You know what? Fuck y'all, okay? If it wasn't cold outside, I promise you I would have shot this episode bare shirt.
So wait, when you pull your shirt down, is that for the people around you or is that for yourself?
Both.
Okay, that's considerate then.
So, don't get twisted. I'm
being considerate.
Being considerate. I mean, I respect you
don't
for
get
it.
twisted. I'm far from insecure. I'm not an insecure man. Mm-hmm. But let's be real. I'm body positive enough to still understand that I feel like there's certain things as a big guy I just don't need to show all the time.
That's a fact. I feel
And on top of that, a lot of the clothing that's popular isn't meant for us. So even if I buy it in a bigger size, it always rises up. So my thing is, I don't want to always have my stomach out and shit like that. And on top of that, sometimes when you sit down, like right now, as I sat down, I had my pants up on my waist and they slid a little bit. So now, one thing I hate is when big niggas just let their ass crack out. That bothers the fuck out of me.
Yo, you got to get a girdle, son.
No, but that's too much. That's too much. And the response to this is, just lose the weight. Mm-hmm. It's going to happen eventually. But at this current position in my life and what my body is, I'm going to pull my fucking shirt down when I get up. So whoever posted that tweet, fuck you. Don't victimize us, okay? We're just out here trying to live our best big man.
I was about to say, now they big and bald. Like now you just adding stuff on to it.
I saw another video when you know how they've been doing. See how they've been doing those Jubilee videos, like when they have like they'll have one person who's arguing with like 20 people about a topic. And then the people can like buzz in as they're
yeah.
So they did a video. There was a guy with hair arguing with 20 bald men. And I was like, yeah. And the bald dude was cooking the dude with it. He was like, you're bald. He was like, are you that insecure? Because the dude hairline was receiving. He was like, oh, you about to be with us.
You say you're one haircut away
from being bald. And the dude was like, nah, I can just go get a transplant. He was like, oh, you're that insecure? He was like, oh, because your hair is hot and you're ugly. He was like, that's why bald dudes are really secure because we ain't got shit to hide. And I'm thinking of that shit like, yeah, cook his ass. Listen, I got this hat on because it's cold outside. I don't hide my baldy. Fuck, I'm bald and proud. And I save a lot of money by switching the Geico. Shut up. But I'm no longer going to be rude.
I was about to say, we got a whole guest. We did want to give flowers, but then he had to go on his tirades. You know what I'm saying?
I had to get that out the way. I didn't want to bring it up at the end. But we do have a guest today, and we're going to let our guest introduce himself. Don't do that. But, please, sir, introduce yourself.
My name is Brandon Horsley. I'm a writer, director, video editor as a whole. I'm a mentor, most importantly. I really care about the development, especially of Black culture right now. I feel like there's a lot of Black youth who are struggling to get to that next step or even find their potential or find their creative passion. And I feel like that's where I want to just not bring myself, but people like-minded as well on that same path and journey. So I'm just really trying to create and help others create and fulfill dreams. So that's where I'm at right now.
How about that?
Boom. Leaving the mark in society. That's what we talking about. You know what I'm saying? One thing at a time.
Where can they find and follow you at?
Yeah, follow me on IG. It's Horsley Studio, or you can do Brandon from down the way. Either way, you'll be able to find my portfolio. And if you have any youths who want to get into creative writing, directing, film editing, creating their own short film, whatever it is, reach out to me. I'm already starting to mentor that and put a program together, and I'm really trying to get people to start creating their dreams, find their passion early on, and not when I did when I was in my 30s. So.
See, pay it forward.
Facts. Everything I learned, I'm trying to pass on to the next generation.
As we should, bro.
That's it.
Like, I was in the barbershop the other day, and this little boy was in there talking about how he likes, he tried to hide the fact that he was dancing. And shout out to Keith. So Keith was like, oh, I saw you over there dancing. And he was kind of like timid about it. And Keith was like, nah, dancing's cool. Do that shit. Keith started talking to him. And I was respecting it because he could have like shut his whole shit down. He's like, nah. He clearly see that the little kid is a little insecure about it. But nah, I want you to know that that's dope. So he started talking to him.
Yeah.
What you like to dance to? And what fucked me up is that this little boy couldn't be no older than 7. So I'm thinking he about to say some nonsense. Like I don't know if you listen to the music these kids listen to. Not to be judgmental, but oh my God, some of that shit not even music. Like my nephews are fucking 17, 18 years old, and they listen to this song that's literally like dun 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 dun, and there's a dude rapping on it. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck is happening here? That's not music. It's just noise.
Hey, you the old head now.
Nah, like
yeah, you sound like our parents.
I get it.
That's crazy. What y'all listening to?
I get it. Old heads, you talk shit about our music, but at least that shit still had,
some substance.
Hook, chorus.
They used to say that too. They used to say the same thing.
This shit now, bro. Nah, B, I ain't that old. But anyway, the little boy start talking about fucking Michael Jackson, Luther Vandross, like shit, like older than us, old shit. And when he said, I looked at Keith like, the fuck he
cultured.
He got some good parents.
Yeah, I was gonna say he cultured.
So we need people like Brandon that's going to pass that shit forward.
Yeah.
So a lot of the shit that needs to be passed down don't get lost.
Yeah.
Especially in the world what's happening right now, to where they're trying to get rid of our shit. But we're not gonna go to that path.
Everything.
We're not gonna cut that path.
We're gonna let Sean off the leash one of these episodes, y'all, because I'm
Yeah,
very proud
I was hoping
of him.
it was today.
Nah,
I was ready for it.
yo, we going this episode. Najee gonna be mad at us because
Najee,
this episode gonna be like.
Put it back on. we not going wild out. I'm sorry, Najee.
Nah, we going because today's episode is more so just about overall. It was a topic that was brought up about like overall censorship, things that we're starting to deal with, things that we're starting to see. We kind of touched on it a little bit. We have kind of touched the surface of what's been going on so much so in our own country. But when it comes to like censorship and just not being able to do certain things on certain platforms, that was something that was brought up. But before we even jump into that, like Brandon, I wanted to know, I know you said you like to pay it forward and you want to make sure that you're looking out for the community, for us, so
Absolutely.
to speak. Has there ever been a time where someone has ever done that for you, or on the flip side of it, didn't do it and you wish they did?
Yeah, so I think I forgot my first real mentor was in college, and it was actually me working as a student ambassador on campus for Kane University, and I thought I knew it all. I was one of those big head, arrogant kids. I'm pretty much still the same way now, just a little bit more humble. But like I had to be told, you can't do this, or you can't talk to an adult like this, or you can't, even if you're right, the way you say it, the way you present yourself, the way you present your argument is all so important. To the person listening. So now, like, even as I go through corporate America, it's the same exact way. Like, I could be right 10 times out of 10, but if my delivery and how I'm talking to someone, and even know when to back down, like those moments are so pivotal because you can lose your job over that. And in this society right now is not the time to lose your job. So you got to play the game. And he taught me those lessons. It was his name is Mr. Emmanuel Donaldson, and he was so impactful. And that's where I think I started my journey as to like, okay, I want to do what he's doing. Like, I can make money in various lanes, but it's what I give back to the next generation so that we can stop seeing these same patterns of happening where we keep just getting pushed back, pushed to the side for things that we are qualified for. So I just want to help build others up and realize their self-confidence and creative well-being.
That's
what's up.
I love that.
We need more people in the world like that, because I think a lot of people attempt or try to do something like that, but not even trying to be funny. Like, even in what I just did, a lot of people don't allow their own judgments to stay out of the way. I can talk to my nephews. Like, I literally just did it. I can talk to my nephews about anything, but then I'll get to a point where I'm like, man, that's dumb. Like, don't fucking do that shit. Like, why you listen to that dumbass dot to dot song? Like, so it's good to have people in the world like that, man, because a lot of people just get in their own way, and then what they feel and believe the world should be, it kind of deflects or just completely devours the message they're trying to put forward. So that's dope.
Yeah, and just a little bit more about what you're talking about. I feel like we now we becoming the old heads. We got to be the generation of winning.
Now,
right?
there's a list of like what we are.
Yeah.
We're the we're not old head, we're not unks yet. We're OGs.
We're close. We're
Yeah,
close.
We're 2 years away from being unks.
Yeah. We're very.
We knocking on the door. I'll tell you that much.
I'm starting to get a couple grades in my beard. I'm like, damn. I'm like, all right.
I got one gray strand at the bottom.
No, I got one in all this hair right here. There's one.
I had an 11-year-old say to me, he was like, how old are you? I was like, I'm 33. He goes, damn! I'm like, I was ready to put my hands up. Like, yo, you want to fight over this?
When I hear younger kids go damn, as soon as I say third, I don't even finish the end of the number. Third, damn! It's like, yo, hold up. First of all, what we're not going to do is make 30 sound old as hell. That's what we're not going to do.
I got used to it early. On top of me, like my first nephew was born when I was technically still 16. So we'll get to that afterwards. Now they're trying to have me show my ass. Now they're trying to make sure I get up and don't pull the shirt down. Anyway.
And then I'm going to tweet about it. Y'all can see the tweet right there in the bottom of the screen.
Look at this nigga. He can't help himself. But nah, so like I said, you got to get used to being called old head because
Thanks.
I became an uncle at 16, about to turn 17. Then on top of that, that's a long story in itself. I ended up, and it wasn't no dumb shit. I ended up having classes in high school with a bunch of younger, underclassmen, my senior year. So being that I had some of those classes, you know what? No, I got to put that out there because people going to think I'm dumb.
I was definitely about to say that was one of those.
Nah. I changed high schools 3 times my freshman year in high school. Dante recalls that.
Do I?
Don't do that. Do not fucking
3
do that.
times?
Yeah. We used to move a lot. So when I went to, I literally was supposed to go to JFK in Island, Woodbridge. The first day of school, I technically didn't go to school, but I was enrolled to go there. Literally, I didn't go to high school my first week of school. I ended up moving to Maplewood, and I started technically high school at Columbia in Maplewood. So I ended up moving to Union in March of my freshman year. So I finished my freshman year in Union. The issue was Columbia's freshman courses were Union sophomore classes.
That's right.
So instead of fucking Union saying, hey, your sophomore year, we're going to put you in freshman classes, which would have made sense.
That you do
Union let me do sophomore classes. My freshman year, and this I was cool with all old heads. I did junior classes my sophomore year. I took my senior classes, most of them, my junior year. Sheesh. So guess what I had to take senior year?
It was like, oh yeah, you got to run those back.
Freshman classes.
So I'm in these classes, smart as fuck, looking like the smartest nigga in the world, but these kids was stupid.
Yeah, it's because you was in Algebra 1, but by then you was on like geometry and calculus. So it's like, yo, this is mad easy at that point.
I remember, I can't remember the white dude's name, but he was like, yo, how you know all this already? I'm like, sorry, he took the second part of it.
He started with the second part.
Bro, that's crazy. My boy started with the next movie. He started with number 2, and it was like, oh wait, there was a prequel to this.
So, and the annoying part was having to explain to all these underclassmen in the first 2 weeks of school, well, how your old ass in this class? So I was already an old head in high school.
Yeah, because we did have some old heads. Yeah. And I remember having some seniors
old head
in my freshman classes looking at them like, why are you here? And they wasn't the smart ones.
Wasn't, yeah.
They wasn't the ones answering questions.
I'll tell you this. I was known for BSing in class, but not like a class clown, just not doing as much as I could. In those classes, I had to make sure these niggas knew I knew this shit. Because you're not about to be like, why are you in here?
Bruh,
why
you
not
senior
talking?
Taking freshman classes and you don't get we get numbers 4? You didn't get a 4?
All them niggas thought I was a dweeb. I answered everything.
As you should.
Flexing on them every time. Like,
you know this yet? Like, fuck, we wasn't about to take that risk at all.
Nah. But that's like being on varsity, going all the way down to the JV team and not dropping at least 25. It's like, yo, bro, what you on varsity for? Like, you should be cooking them. That's what you should be doing.
We had niggas like that in high school. We're not gonna get into that. Niggas was fucking whole seniors playing fucking sophomore team on the sophomore team.
Yo, ridiculous.
And was like gloating about their stats. Like, nigga, you should be going up.
You absolutely should. You're a grown man. Like, I'm talking legally. You're a grown ass man.
They gonna try your ass as an adult. Nigga, that is assault.
That's
we are some children, okay?
But yeah, go ahead, Frank. My bad, I got it off topic. That's my fault.
As always.
That's my fault.
We were talking about the top. Well, we were gonna transition into talking about censorship, and I think that's very much on par with what you're saying about like the younger generation and learning more. Because let's be honest, they're in the realm of being, honestly, when it comes to technology, they're going to be, should be at least, on the forefront of all these things. So, like, we were talking before we even got on the camera, before you even got here, Sean, because you know you was late. We was talking about doing voiceover acting and things like that. And, like, because me and Brandon were chopping it up about being in the same space, like that same acting space. And he was talking about his short films, and he's coming out with some other projects. I'm not going to take too much away from it, but where I'm going with that is you told me the story about the young gentleman that you were already mentoring from the time that he did something on one of your projects. First time actor, didn't know nothing. You brought him onto your set, had mentored him and did everything that you needed to do. And the moral of this, or the good thing is, my boy Brandon won an award for this film, and the actor that he was helping won Best Child Actor in the whole film festival, son.
Yeah, from the Jersey Film Awards. I don't want to give myself credit for this because the kid, his name is Naeem. He's an amazing talent out of Connecticut. He's smart. He's very, very. He learns quickly, and because
You're supposed to catch that.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So because of that, we were able to work through rehearsals together. And he was really receptive to my feedback. You know, sometimes hearing feedback, being criticized, I think that's a skill when you learn how to take feedback. And he was really open to that at 11 years old. And he was able to apply the lessons that I was giving him, just the lessons that I was learning from other actors. And because of that, he came on the set the day we shot, and he was incredible. We knew as soon as we sat down and we were going through the footage, we were like, yo, this kid is going to be a star. And none behold, a month later, he was winning awards. And he's up for another one coming up at the end of this month at another festival. So we'll see what happens. But he could be winning another award.
What's the name of the film?
It's the one that he was in. It's called My First Fan. You can check it out on my Instagram at Horsley Studio. It's 2 minutes. It's 2 minutes long. 2 minutes of your time just to watch it, man. Have a quick laugh. Just literally going through the journey of what it's like to do what you guys do and be creatives, and then running into your first fan. That's literally what it's about. So check it out, guys. It's 2 minutes long.
I'm happy both of you guys are actors. Have you done stage plays?
That's kind of how I got started. My boy told me, he was like, yo, there's some thing in New York. It's right off Broadway, and it's a live show, and it's a comedy show, so it could be right up your alley. I was like, all right, cool. I'll go ahead and give that a shot. Show up there on game day, and I think that I'm just gonna go in there and just gonna ask me questions and whatever else. They have a 3-page script on the table, like, yo, studies, you have 5 minutes to study this real quick, and then you're gonna go perform. I was like, the door's right there, and my boy had to be like, yo, you just came an hour and a half to come here. We not letting you walk out.
That's it.
We not letting you walk. That's one of my realest friends, my boy Carl, realest friends, who told me that not to walk out through that door. And I went in there, and they was like, yo, we love you. Like, we want to bring you on board. And they let me not just open the show, but I was in several parts throughout the show, and also could be found on there. I'm not making this up. But that gave me my confidence boost to be like, yo, I'm in the right place. I'm where I'm supposed to belong. But I didn't want to do other people's stuff. I wanted to create my own and create opportunities for other people, and that's what I'm doing now.
And that's what's up.
That's dope.
I asked that question because Denzel Washington, I was listening to an interview of his, and he always tells actors who are starting off, do stage first.
Yep.
And I like that you said it. I already know you're doing it.
You know what I'm saying?
I remember the first play I went to, Dante had me fucking crying. I was mad.
And
I don't mean crying as in laughing, scholars. I'd be like, give me some tissue. Oh, shit. Well, what was the name of that shit?
Yo, it was called...
With the little boy who passed away.
I was about to say, the one you saw was called Ollie.
Oh, my God.
I did that maybe about 4 years ago. I had just started acting. It was the first one I ever did. And I always shout them out. Shout out to Get Right Entertainment. Those are my boys, Kareem and Tony. Been working with them for a while. And it's like, hearing that is like, I don't see what y'all see. I'm just Dante being a character, doing what I feel is right in this moment. So when I hear, and you're not the first person to say those things. So it's like, when I hear it, I still don't all the way believe it, but not in the sense of self-doubt. It's more so like, me? No, I'm just, I'm just Dante. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like that's a good quality to have because you're humble naturally.
Yep.
Like, you're not gonna get to a point where even when it blows up, you're not gonna be a dickhead about it. You feel me? And
you know why though? it's to your point, Brandon, about like wanting to be creative and stuff. Before I like even got into acting, I went the route of corporate. I went to college, went out of college, worked for a nonprofit, went from that working at that nonprofit to being unemployed for a little bit. Because in my soul, like I was talking to my sister about this today, like in my soul, something told me like, bro, you don't want to stay here. Like you want to do this for like ever? Nah, I can't. So, I left and I didn't know what I wanted to do. And then one day I was surfing, I was on Instagram and Backstage had popped up on my For You page. I was like, what the hell is a Backstage? I looked at it and I was like, oh, get into this, blah, 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 blah. And they had like these free classes. I was like, let me just take a class. Like it's Midtown Manhattan, about 40 minutes from the house. It's not that deep. I went out there, I did it. I was like, oh, this shit is fun. And then I realized for me, it's like therapy. Like, cause I don't have to be restrained. I can act something out in a moment where it's like, nah, no one's gonna tell you you're being too emotional. Yeah. No one's gonna tell you, yo, you're doing too much. No one's gonna tell you, yo, quiet down. It's like, nah, the character calls for me to do this, and because I can, I'm having fun. Like I'm feeling good. Sure. And I never had someone to tell me like, and it's no shade to nobody in my like adults in my life, but it's like I never explored it to the sense of telling others like, here's what I would want to do. So like to have people who see something that you don't even see, yo, that's mad pivotal because they're the ones that are gonna say, don't you dare go out that door. Yep. Your ass better sit right there because you never know what's gonna happen. If you go out that door, the story could be a completely different thing. You'd have been in your comfort zone, you'd have been living, it would have been cool, but you wouldn't have got to where you are now. So like the fact that you're already mentoring and helping as you're still progressing.
As I'm learning.
You know what I'm saying? It's like you watch cartoons like, I don't know if y'all seen it before, but it's like, I think it was Bugs Bunny. He's laying down one of the planks as he's walking off and another person's giving him the plank. So they're like walking on the plank. It's like, it's a cartoon, but like that's what it is. It's like, yo, I got a little bit of light right here. Come up with me, y'all. I know what's going on now. I don't know what's on over there, but I'm gonna go check it out. I'll tell y'all what's going on. I love that, bro. I love that.
And I hope y'all mean that for real because I'm gonna need one of y'all to, be your best Adam Sandler.
Yo,
if you don't know, you know what I mean. You feel me?
I already told you, bro.
Listen. Let's be all the way real. I asked y'all the stage question because. I've been in the movie before. I got a little acting stats.
Yes, sir. You got some chops.
When Dante was first getting into all this, me and him used to speak about it, and that's also what ultimately led to the Educated Brothers.
Yo, everything happens the way it's supposed to, yo.
But it's about. I really rock with y'all because y'all out here really trying to go after y'all. But I had to be realistic about what I needed to do in life, and I'm not in the position to fully jump into it yet, and that's okay. Because what's for me is not for you.
Is your journey.
Your journey
is when it's supposed to happen.
Exactly. So I asked the stage question because listening to the Denzel interview when he said, if you want to become the best actor, do stages first. Mm-hmm. And that resonates with me a lot because I'm like, fuck, I don't ever have the time to do that. I literally just can't go after that. So that's what I'm halfway joking, but I'm halfway dead ass serious.
That's real.
You guys better get on and bring me with y'all. But
because I'm not even going to talk about my experience. Brandon, you've gone to auditions before. You've grinded out before. Like, what is that like for someone who's trying to do something that, like, in your heart, you feel like, yo, I know I could rock this. But at the same time, like you said, I'm doing this because this is your work. Like, what made you say, like, all right, I'm cool with your work, but, like, I want to do my own thing? Like, how does that whole process feel for you?
Yeah, so I think it starts with just like creative vision, and sometimes like some of the things that we were doing, that we did, I was like, oh, if we rewrite this a certain way, it could be a little bit more engaging to the audience. But you can't tell that to a writer if you're just an actor, right? Mm-hmm. You're there to act, and so I realized like, all right, cool, like I want to try this. Let me see how it works with myself, right? Let me just see how it works. And I did my first one back in June 2023, and I was like, all right, cool. I see a lot of mistakes, room for growth. And then 3 months later, we jumped in and we did our second one. And that one's called Late Night Mysteries. And then with that second one, we submitted it to a couple film festivals just to kind of see, like, are we good at this? You know what I mean? Da-da-da, like kind of thing. We end up winning Best Short Comedy on my second one, and like, and then the lead actor in it won best actor in a short. So I was like, oh, okay, I'm where I'm supposed to be at. Like, mind you, while I'm doing this, I'm working a full-time job. Yeah. And then my latest one, I'm in and this is like not a brag or anything, but I was working for the #1 money asset company in the world. Yeah. And it was like 9 to 5. No, that doesn't exist. Like you're working
12 to 12.
Yeah. And then like I had to create a short film on top of that and work with actors and produce my own stuff. Like all this stuff. Like I had a second phone. Like all that stuff.
I have to carry this shit with me every day.
Bruh, how are you supposed to be creative when your mind is focused on numbers all day? And I had to learn to realize like once I leave that office, like stop.
Turn it off.
I got to turn on my creative brain, and then on top of it, I got to be a supporting fiance. I got a dog I got to take care of. Like that stuff don't stop just because you tired. Like you got to make your dreams happen.
Keep going,
and and make sure your girl good at the same time. So like it's a lot to juggle, but if you really want to like make your dreams happen, like you gonna make it work. You gonna find time.
So before we get into the topic, I wanted that. This is what I was getting to, but it was very long winded. As far as improvisation, when you guys are, getting into your active juices, I'm asking both of you. Mm-hmm. When you're getting into your acting juices, and then you put a little bit more into like the dialogue that you're supposed to have for your character. Mm-hmm. Has there ever been a time you've done that, and the person you're having that dialogue with, the other actor, is like, not in the moment, but like after, is like, what the fuck was that? Like, what are you doing?
You probably get better response than I could.
That's happened to me. But not in a bad way. Okay. It was more so like, because my improv skills when I'm on stage, bro, it's like, because I'm not Dante no more. I'm whatever character I am. It's the sky's this is the limit. So it's like, if I know my line is supposed to be like, oh, Sean went to the store. Yeah. That's the line. But I want to be like, yo, my boy Sean, I'm talking, he was out there lifting weights, going hard, bro. He was ready to whoop my ass. Yo, after that, he had to go to the store and get a Gatorade. The line was, Sean got to go to the store. But I'm going to add some more onto it because it's like, the character might say this, or like the character might do that. So there has been times, but I've had it happen to me in a way that's hilarious. Shout out to my boy Shahid. We were doing a play together, and he's a comedian. Like he does his own writing and stuff like that. So his improv skills is like through the roof. To the point where like if you don't know what he's supposed to say, or you don't know your trigger line, you might get lost in that tangent. So there was one time we were doing a play, and we were running lines, and he was going and going and going, and I was waiting for my cue line, and it never came. And I was like, I think I'm supposed to go. And I went, and I was like, it worked. Don't do that on show day. Don't do that. You better get them lines together, bro. It worked on rehearsal.
Rehearsals are important.
That man was going, and he probably forgot and was like, fuck it, I'm going to just keep talking.
I'm going to keep going. Yeah. It'll come back to me at some point.
At some point, I'll get back on the train.
He got to the 20th word, like, fuck, I don't remember it.
And it was like, but in those moments, as like a good, that also teaches you how to be a good, like, supporting actor in that moment. If that's that person's moment, do something to help them understand the next thing that we're supposed to do. So if someone does go off on a tangent, it's like, okay, he's going. He might have missed his cue line, but then you can bring it back because you know what he's supposed to say. Don't you want to ask me about Sean going to the store? Oh yeah, did Sean go to the store? Well, matter of fact, because in that moment you can't go, oh shit, what am I supposed to? Because you're on stage. It's live. People are watching you, so you got to be like on it. I love it.
See, so just speaking of what you just said, and just watching your mannerisms and everything else, like I would love to work with you just off the strength of what I'm seeing right now. Forget what he told me and whatever you told me. Like just to see the way you kind of just you're not even acting right now, and I can feel the passion in it, and that's exactly what you want. So I would love to work with you, and I would love to work with you too, because listen, you can play a lot of characters. You can be like a Debo type, you know what I mean? Like take your chain type shit. Like I feel like you would be great for that, and I would love to work with both of you.
That's the funny thing. So in the movie that I did, and shout out to Brick, the movie that I did, this was right after COVID. It's still 2020. It was called My Brother's Keeper, and I played a fucking drug dealer in the movie. And my character was literally like the main antagonist. I was the dude who was literally trying to kill his dude for not giving him his money back. Remember, I made a skit out of the video, like, what the fuck is, because he tried to give me a little bit. I'm like, nah, where's the rest of it? And the shit, like, for what it was, I appreciated it, the fact that he wanted me to do it, because he, like, me and Britt played basketball together, and he said the same thing. He's like, yo, I got something for you. There was no script. All that shit was 1,000% me. Like, he was like, go. He's like, action. And I'm like, just go? He's like, go. And I remember just sitting there thinking of all the fucking kingpins and drug dealers, all the old hood movies I watched. I'm like, all right, we're gonna roll all these niggas into one. So it was a mix of Nino Brown, Debo, fucking the fat dude from You Got Served.
It wasn't Emerald. I think that's his name.
I'm like, yo, we gonna put all that shit together and we gonna try it. It fell flat at the end of it, and I think that's why, you know, sometimes an actor does need a structure to go off of to base it. But I didn't know that.
That's why you have a director there. That's the point of the director.
Yes, literally.
And he was just getting started too. So I think it was a learning lesson for all of us.
Thanks.
Like, the character somewhat at the end of that movie just became a joke. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't supposed to be like that. I was supposed to be serious the whole time. But, you know, just if you tell me naturally just go do some shit, I'll turn the serious of moments into a joke. You can't do that with me. You gotta be like, nah, none of that right now. Be real. Think about some shit that's gonna get you riled up. So,
see, before we jump, because I know we got a little bit of time, I do want to get into it. As a director, a writer, have you ever experienced something like that where someone like kind of going way too left? Do you bring them back nice and easy, or is it like kind of like, oh, just, you know, see how it evolves?
I mean, it depends, right? Okay. Because sometimes, like you know, actors are creators too, right? In their own sense. So if I see you going off script, kind of, or going away from what my vision is, I still want to see it. Yeah. I want to see it because it could be better than what I got, and I'm like, damn, all right, cool. Which has happened because the person who won Best Actor in the Short, he made the role his own. Like, I can't. The reason why I didn't play that role is because I know my limitations, and he has way higher acting, like way more acting skills than I do. So I knew that he can take it to way higher than I can imagine. And I guarantee you, probably the same vision for you. It's like, yo, I just see you and I can see that you could do better than what I can even think of. Yeah. So yeah, I love that. Like, I always tell people the first time, do the take your way, the way you see it, the way you read it. And then I will go and jump in and kind of give you some. I have a creative director too who jumps in, my fiance, and she jumps in and like, let's kind of wordplay there a little bit, whatever else. But we still get that first take to play with that will, no matter what, we can have that to use or we don't use it. Either way, we're still going to let you be creative.
That's fire. So. That's fire. Because that does kind of segue into the idea of censorship, right?
Yeah.
In the sense of, you know, it depends what platform you use, right? And I find censorship just to be, at least where we live, very hypocritical, if you will. It's very hypocritical.
We've been around each other too long.
You know what I mean?
When I tell you I was about to say the same
listen, I know. Because when you brought it to my attention, like, it was one of those where I was like, I want to talk about it because
it's a tough thing to talk
censorship on these apps that we have is not really censorship.
Nigga.
It's tailored censorship, if you will. Like, there's certain things you can say, and there's certain things you simply can't. So it's like, even the idea of censorship on some of these apps isn't even real censorship. It's like, I'm going to pick and choose what I'm allowing. And that's more of like a dictatorship than anything, if you really think about it.
Let's call it what it is. Like, we're on Twitter a lot. Mm-hmm. Like, we the whole idea you coming on this show started off a tweet. So, but the shit that bothers me is that, like, for example, we've been doing this podcast now for a while. I know that, and it sucks, I have to dial back certain things I say because it's now getting the page flagged. And they don't even have to flat out say it. Mm-hmm. Unless it's somebody who hardcore follows us, I'm starting to notice that a lot of our shit isn't being pushed. And they don't even have to tell me. And just reading shit on the Instagram, YouTube guidelines, it's simply because of the fact that I'm outspoken about the bullshit.
Yeah.
Now, flip that. These motherfuckers are online lying about everything. But they'll push that shit tenfold. Instagram, I was so pissed because they had no reason to do it. Instagram took away the notes options off the app. Now, a lot of people weren't using it. I don't know if y'all realize it. I was utilizing the fuck out of it. Because what Instagram fucked up was if you added a note to any post, that note on that post then pushed that post to everybody that follows you. Mm-hmm. And it was putting it at the top of their algorithm.
Okay.
So even if you didn't follow that page, it came up on your algorithm.
Okay.
So you can still snooze like the suggested content, but since somebody you follow was adding notes to that post, it was popping up on your feed.
Okay.
And I was getting reaction from everything I added the note to. They caught wind of it. because people started using the notes for Free Palestine. Trump's full of shit. They started adding it towards that, and they realized, oh, fuck, we're actually now pushing the agenda to be against him. What did they do 2 days ago?
Who's that?
Instagram. Facebook, because they own Instagram.
I was about to say Zuck's company.
Yeah. Guess what they did 2 days ago?
What's that?
They got rid of it.
The notes function.
You can't add notes to posts anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, because you better not say anything other than he's the greatest.
Like,
the country is being saved one day at a time.
This nigga wrote an executive order yesterday to go after people who were actually doing their jobs because he did some illegal shit.
Yeah. He signed
an executive order against 2 people in a country of 400 million motherfuckers for treason because they were doing their jobs because he did something illegal.
Yep.
Yo, so
there's a lesson in that though. It's not about money; it's about power.
Oh my god, dog!
Talk about it,
and that's real shit.
Talk about it,
and that's why, like everyone, they mama like, yo, you always talking politics. You gotta get into it, and I keep explaining to people, if it was as simple as you think it is, I promise you I would do it. But you have to gain a following. The main reason I don't get into politics because a lot of politicians start off lying. It's like they have to do it. Because if you don't get a huge backing and support from the motherfuckers who are in power, your shit is basically dead before you can even get it off the ground. And then that's what happens. These motherfuckers, and you're seeing it happen a lot right now. Like there's a bunch of Democrats who are running as Democrats to get that Democratic machine behind them. And as soon as they get elected, they start siding with all the bullshit Trump and the Republicans are doing. And you're like, why would he do that? Oh, they knew what they were doing. Yeah. They knew they were never going to win that Republican seat because whoever's in it has been in it for years. They need that money. Let me lie about this Democratic shit and just go do what I wanted to do anyway.
Because by then I already got my position, so I'm good to go.
Yeah,
I don't need none of that shit.
As far as like the whole, like you said, the censorship being hypocritical, especially on these apps today, it's bullshit because they're only censoring and trying to keep the truth from spreading. And then they're trying to mask the truth with this whole fake news and all these other keywords that they're trying to use. You're too woke. Like, get the fuck out of my face with that. Like, I promise you. Like,
go ahead. I can kind of piggyback on that a little bit. So I think one big thing is truth is now, when living in this country, it's American truth, right? It doesn't have to be truth. It's American truth, right? That's why TikTok is, the fight for it right now is so strong because, and Trump just said the other day that he wants to name it TikTok America. And that in itself is like, all right, so if you are anything against American beliefs, values, and these are not just everyday American beliefs, values, is who's in power and what their beliefs and values are. So if you don't agree with their message, no matter who's in office, then you are now going to be censored. You don't agree with it, censored. If you don't agree with it, El Salvador, like you out of here, you out of here. And that's real scary, especially when you look like us. That's even more scary. So it's just like, you got to kind of play the game or chance of, I don't even want to say like getting out of here, but like you never know what can happen. You don't know what can happen now. So you don't know, we got to watch what you say, how you say it. But then you guys see someone like, and I don't know how y'all are in this podcast when it comes to Kanye West, but see someone like,
speak your mind, bro.
Like on Twitter, on X, and you see Kanye West snapping right now, right? And people are like, oh, he's anti-Semitic and all this other things. And his message, I think, is deeper than that. I don't think his problem is with the average Jewish person. It's never been that. It's the people at the top of the companies who happen to all be Jewish, whether it's in fashion, whether it's in entertainment, whether it's in, all these money at the top. Like these companies, have done him wrong and he's speaking out against him. And the only way to get their attention, because, money talks, but also power talks even higher. So the only way he can get to them is he starts affecting their bottom line. And he's doing that through Holocaust references and everything else, but at the same time, does he realize that the music that's being displayed, the entertainment that's being displayed towards black people is killing us? We're in a Holocaust right now, and it's not talked about. We are getting killed, slain every day on these streets, and it's not talked about. But mention someone bring up a Holocaust symbol, and next minute, oh no, you can't do that. You can't do that. But we could say, kill that motherfucker, kill that motherfucker, kill that motherfucker, in every song and everything else. And it'll be pushed on the radio, pushed into our young kids' minds every single day. Movies pushed every single day, and that's okay. So I'm not sticking up for anybody, but also just know there's a two-way street when it comes to censorship and how it's being displayed right now. And yeah, I'm not gonna want to change it. I don't want to push any further than that.
I took my glasses off because that's real shit.
I'm about to say, it's not even about pushing nothing crazy. Because I've said this, whether it's been on the pod or just the people that I've talked to. Yeah, Kanye be saying some wild shit.
Wild. I don't agree with shit.
But what Brendan just said, I've never looked at it that way. That's real shit.
It's always because it's not always seen as coherent. It's always seen as like, yo, he's saying too much or he's doing. I will agree. He goes to the extreme when he says it.
Exactly.
But when he goes to the extreme, he's doing it because he's like, now that I've got your attention. But he also doesn't know how to word it properly. So he's getting all these extremes, and because there's so many extremes, no one's listening to the extremes because they're like, yo, he's bugging the fuck out.
And that's why,
but there's always something behind it because remember, he was saying crazy shit about Adidas, and everybody's like, yo, he's nuts. And then it comes out that he wasn't lying. It's like, yo, if you just I understand, yes, he's wilding with what he's saying, but y'all, let's just like try. Maybe we got to decipher it, and people don't want to do that. Because I've never thought it was malicious. I always just thought it was like, yo, bro, chill. Chill. Because I know what you're trying to say, but you're saying it like this. I need you to say it like this.
That goes full circle to what I said in the beginning, Ship, about mentorship, right? And I was saying like, yo, it's not how you say things. You have to say things so it's digestible to the person listening. And Kanye right now, I don't think he has that. Even at his age, he's in his late 40s. I don't think he has that mentorship in the room with him to be like, yo, we can get this done in a different and better way.
That's because he surrounds himself with yes men.
Yes men, yes, and that's exactly what it is. Until he changes,
and every time, but he's never going to, because every time somebody challenges him, he goes off. Like him and Cudi literally fell out because Cudi wouldn't yes man him to death.
Cudi,
Big Sean, all of them, they all stopped fucking with him.
Chance the Rapper, all of them.
Yeah,
Hov had to distance himself.
I was so disappointed.
But like, I was about to say, the Adidas thing is hilarious because I'm happy he caught it when he did, because I remember the first time. This is why he was still actively signed with Adidas and the Yeezys was still getting pushed. I walked into a Finish Line and there was these shoes that looked like Yeezys, but Finish Line was selling these shits for like $40. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, these ain't Yeezys, but they look just like Yeezys. The Yeezy commercial was still running. I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, there's no way this nigga Kanye don't know that they're like selling a knockoff brand of his shoe, and it's his same company.
Yeah.
So ask people, if you disagree with Kanye, right? Mm-hmm. And that's cool, you can disagree with him all you want, but put yourself in his shoes. Imagine you creating a product, right? You put your heart, sweat, tears into the design of the product, everything into the product. That's your baby. And then you leave the company and they still continue to sell your product and profit off it, and you get nothing, one. And then two, now Nike, now everyone that you're competing are all copying your product. And everything they do, from their slides and everything else, they're all copying his product and then selling it for a cheaper value, and he's not getting any of that. You wouldn't be mad? I'd be pissed.
But I would be pissed. Like you said, like Dante said, the issue really is the wrong person giving the message.
There it is.
And how he's going about the message. I promise you, I'm not joking. I took my glasses off because as you was talking, and this is why scholars is why it's always good to listen and not listen to respond. As soon as you started getting into it, when you said, do we push Kanye? I wasn't going to attack you on it. I'm like, you know what? Let me hear him out before I even fix my lips to be like, ah. And you said what you said. I'm like, that's real shit. And the deeper issue is this man just surrounds himself with motherfuckers who just want to suck on him and leech off of him for what he can provide for them. Everybody, like I said, everybody he has in his life that have told him like, yo, you're tripping, he's pushed them away. It's the wrong person spewing that message. And no, I can't put myself in Kanye's shoes. He doesn't like to make wide sneakers from big feet. I got fat feet.
Oh, man.
I got fat feet. But just going back to the, because we got to wrap up soon, but just going back to the ills of what censorship is supposed to be. Yeah. How it is now is just complete nonsense. Like, I can go on Twitter and post a 30-minute video of people fucking. But God forbid I say Trump is a dickhead.
Yep. Bam.
Go on X and say something negative about Elon Musk. I dare you, just go on there and just say something negative. It's just a different.
You're going against the community guidelines.
Yeah, exactly.
I dare you see this video of these motherfuckers literally fucking in public.
Well, that's not against the community guidelines.
This shit is wild, bro.
People got their usernames on X as the N-word with the ER at the end
Hard
of it.
R.
And
I fucks with you because you call it X.
Listen.
I'm gonna call it Twitter. Your daddy named you Twitter.
Your daddy named you Cassius. I'm gonna call you Cassius, okay?
Your daddy named you Twitter. I'm gonna call you Twitter.
I try to keep up with the kids, man. They call it X, I call it X. You know what I mean?
Because then you bring it up around them, they gonna be like, what? Twitter? Nobody calls it that.
Oh
my God.
Nigga, I remember when he changed that shit to X. I'm like, this nigga is tripping.
I said I'm not calling it that.
I deleted the app for a day, and I'm like, you know what? I got too many people on Twitter, but
Yeah,
man.
listen,
ain't no way. I'm still calling it Twitter. I'm still picturing the little bird Twitter.
tweet.
Yeah, I'll even
Remember
give you
back in
that
the
little
day,
key
you used to do
design.
that?
Yeah.
When you press send, if you had your sound on, it would go. Man, fuck Elon.
Back on my BlackBerry, yeah. Back in the days.
Fucking dick. He had a sidekick.
Listen, you saying all that about Elon. I ain't saying nothing about that man. That man too strong
You
right
want
now.
to put it back on 2? Put it back on 2. Fuck Elon. And that's coming from a Sean Russell. That has nothing to do with bravery. That has
Stand
nothing
up.
to do with the
Chest
Educated
out.
Podcast. That
Good.
has nothing to do with Brandon. That's coming from LaShawn Russell Jr.
Yeah, we'll put his license on the bottom too. So.
They just suspended it anyway.
Yeah, all right, look, you about to get a notification right now. They heard you.
Yeah, but before we get on up out of here, it's been fun. We want to let the people know where they can follow you if you got any other projects coming up, something that they could.
He got a project coming up soon with both of us in it.
Speaking of existence, bro.
So I got a couple things. One main thing is over the past 3 months now, I've been teaching myself how to do animation and making my own cartoon. And, that requires getting voiceovers and everything else. So I'm really teaching myself the process one step at a time. And I'm at like 95%. I'm right at the finish line. And I'm so excited to share this with y'all because if this is successful, this shows that I can go and create a 30-minute pilot cartoon. And I feel like that is just next level to me because that's not only just putting myself in position to be successful, but it's pushing actors, directors, editors, it's pushing producers, whoever it is, sound engineers, they're all coming with me. I'm not doing this by myself. I'm bringing a team of people with me, and I would love to have y'all be a part of my team.
Yeah.
And anyone else out there who's interested, reach out to me. Reach out Horsley Studio. You'll see my portfolio. Check out my portfolio. I'm taking this stuff seriously.
We're gonna put it here.
Please. Yeah, put it right. Yeah. Check me out, man. Check me out. I promise y'all. And I want to say to y'all as well before we get out of here. My hat's off to y'all, for real. I went back and I went 3 years ago and looked at y'all podcast, and y'all was in a living room on the couch and shit.
that was my bedroom.
I'm telling you, and like I'm looking around in here. I'm like, yo, these men got money. Like, goddamn. Like, state of the art equipment. Shout out to y'all for real. Like, y'all have come a long way. Round of applause to y'all for real.
Appreciate that.
Appreciate it.
Keep going,
yo.
keep
That's
going,
it. Nah,
keep
the
going.
sky's
Yeah,
the limit, bro. We don't
Yeah.
stop. The creativity does not stop, son. No, it does not.
Yeah, for real. Well, I appreciate y'all for real.
We appreciate that because Elon, you can't stop us.
And on that note,
You can't stop us.
No Talent Beats. Play us out, brother.
Elon said he's going to name his next kid Pi. But not P-I-E. The 3.14.
3.145678.
If you ain't have money, that kid gonna get bullied.
Yo, what's his